I'll wake up at 4 or 5 a.m, go for a 2-hour jog. I'll go until that voice is satisfied. If that voice isn't satisfied, there's no stopping.
It's daybreak in suburban Melbourne, and Sarah is slipping out early before her mother knows she's gone.
She's nearly 24 years old. I can't tell her to do or not to do anything, really.
She parks her car a few blocks away to hide her routine that sees her push her body to extremes for up to 4 hours every day. A routine she's been warned is dangerous.
I'd go to drive to the shops and I'd see her car and I'd think, why's her car there? She's not in it. Oh, she's jogging somewhere.
So despite all of the specialists telling you that you shouldn't exercise, you still come here and hide your car and lie to your mum?
Yeah.
So that you can exercise?
Well, either way I'm going to feel guilty. If I lie to mum, I feel guilty. If I don't exercise, I'll feel guilty. I try and just use things to distract me, so I think of like the body that I want. Skinnier arms, skinnier legs, a bigger bum, flat stomach, bigger boobs. Just a pretty face,
To anyone else up early, she looks like another healthy fitness enthusiast. But hidden is what's going on inside her head, which is far from healthy.
The guilt starts kicking in, those calories are going to turn to fat if you don't move, you're lazy, you're disgusting, you're fat, look at yourself. The more you sweat and the harder it is, the better you get it's like a kick. It's like you're high kind of thing from this exercise.
Several gyms have been so concerned about her extreme exercise, she's been told not to come back. Ironically, she's even had to drop out of her studies to be a personal trainer because of ill health.
It sounds sick, but all I really care about is having the body that I want and being thin and being accepted by others because you have to look a certain way. I was always a bigger girl in my eyes. I've never liked my physical appearance. The worst time was when I was hospitalised. I got down to 44 kilos. There was nurses, there was doctors, my family were there, people were in tears, and the anorexia was so strong that it was saying, laughing at me, going, don't listen to people, don't listen to people.
They told me she was going to die. So now people say, oh, she's better. And that's fantastic, but she's still really sick.
I'm just going to have what I always have. In recovery, obviously you have to eat. So that's when the obsessive addiction to exercise came in, because the illness gets you in another way. I picked something else and I picked exercise.
Compulsive exercise or exercise addiction, anorexia, they co-occur quite frequently. We had a young man who we treated for muscle dysmorphia, so it's a condition like reverse anorexia. He had broken his right wrist and he found it impossible to stop bench pressing despite excruciating pain, because the anxiety of not being in the gym and working out was greater for him than that physical pain of enduring his broken wrist.
It's being fueled by internet-enabled body image ideals like Fitspo or Fitness Inspiration, designed to motivate but can also add intense peer pressure.
We call it a somatic society. It's a society obsessed with the body and body image and shaping the body and changing it to make it look like some impossible ideal that research has shown us is only getting harder and harder to obtain. They're photoshopped, they're on steroids often if they're men, and when men and women compare themselves against these body ideals, they end up coming out on the negative end of that.
So how important is it to you to look like the women in these magazines?
Very important. At
the risk of your health?
Yeah, even with the risk. My physical appearance is much more important than even my own happiness.
So you prefer to look like one of these women and be unhappy?
I don't want to admit that, but yeah. Mum, I'm just going out for a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Still, Sarah can't stop. even with her heightened risk of osteoporosis and stroke as a result of her anorexia, even the fact that today she's carrying a painful groin injury.
I mean, the complexity of human nature is just staggering. There's always going to be some people out there for whom they get into a situation where body image or eating or exercise becomes the sole source of their self-esteem. For that small minority of people, they're walking around with a tendency to latch onto these kind of things.
Everyone has that in them where they don't like something. They'll look in the mirror and go, I wish my eyes were a bit bigger or my lips were small, whatever. The anorexia or the eating disorder or the illness has the ability to grab hold of anyone, but some people are just strong enough to sort of flick it away, where I sort of just let it grab a very tight hold and it still hasn't let go.